There are so many people that I miss watching on TV. Cilla Black. Do you remember the amazing Cilla Black? Wasn't she fantastic? Surprise, surprise, blind date. Morecambe and Wise. What a double act. Terry Wogan. Pure broadcasting genius. Paul Daniels. What an entertainer with his magic tricks, cards, and making things disappear. Amazing. What about Huw Edwards? Do you remember him? The BBC 10 o'clock news, election coverage, Queen's funeral, gravitas, charm, wit and warmth. Is he on holiday? Where is he? Has he gone backpacking? Backsacking crack? Well, according to a cracking piece of journalism by the Sun newspaper, he certainly hasn't been sent packing by the BBC, far from it. The paper reports that even though Huw Edwards has been absent from our screens for the best part of 9 months, he's still being paid almost £500,000 a year, which likely makes him the highest paid newsreader at the BBC. So even my basic mathematics will confirm that this calm under pressure news anchor has pulled in at least £250,000 since being off air. Nice work if you can get it. And who cares? It's money no object at the national state broadcaster because it's not their money they're spending. It's yours and mine. So where is the lesser spotted Huw Edwards? Well, the Sun newspaper think they've tracked him down. They report that the silver-haired newsman is now living with his mother in scenic Carmarthenshire. Mummy knows best. The BBC's handling of the initial Huw Edwards drama, in which it was alleged he paid £35,000 to a vulnerable young person in exchange for explicit images, was disastrous. I called it out at the time. I think Huw Edwards featured in 3 or 4 Take at 10 monologues in a short period of time. That's something of a record, but probably not a record you want to achieve. Here's what I said about the Huw Edwards story in July of last year. I'm one of those people that if you say that I can't talk about something, that's the thing I'm going to talk about. If you say, look away, nothing to see here, that's the first place I will look. Which is why I won't move on from the Huw Edwards scandal, which is, of course, the great wish of the powerful figures in the media elite, who are clearly worried about such an establishment figure falling. They are circling the wagons to protect their own. Huw Edwards is not the victim here. Until these allegations are denied and proved to be untrue, the status of victimhood exists only for the young person whose drug habit allegedly Edwards bankrolled with licence fee cash. What about that tan, by the way? Well, my comments haven't aged too badly. Since then, the BBC apologised to the parents of the young person allegedly involved and have promised to review their procedures. The parents don't seem too impressed with the apology, though. The person's mother told The Sun, "We have suffered immense pain." She said if the BBC had handled the complaint properly, they would not have had to go through this hell. Now, whilst I wish Mr. Edwards a speedy recovery from any mental health issues he's going through, I mean, I'll be honest, £250,000 in 9 months would set me right. This won't stop me discussing what looks to be a growing scandal at the nation's state broadcaster. His posh mates in the media would like to move on, but this man has been the face of the BBC's news operation and is paid a small fortune, courtesy of the licence fee, another word for tax, which hard-up grannies risk jail for not paying. So the establishment didn't want to and don't want to tackle the story, but I'm more than happy to. After all, I want to make sure that the British taxpayer gets value for money. And Huw Edwards making £250,000 to sit at home twiddling his thumbs does not sound like value to me. Now, of course, the reason he's still on gardening leave and getting his hands dirty with those green fingers of his is because the BBC is still conducting an internal probe. It's been 9 months. The parents have complained, the BBC have apologised. Edwards hasn't explicitly denied anything. How much probing do you need to do? This isn't the bloody Watergate scandal. Now, I don't have a view as to whether Edwards should be back on the BBC or not. And he could be innocent of all allegations, no problem. But either way, How long is he going to sit there at taxpayers' expense doing crossword puzzles and working in his mother's garden? I've heard he likes a good-sized parsnip.